think about it. Okay guys, so it's the first night that we've had the chickens. And so last night we lost 2, and 2 are not looking really great. Now these tend to have a really high mortality rate, like 30% in some cases. And I'm hoping that I can stay way under that. That guy's fading fast. I'm gonna try to give him a little drink of this water with some minerals in it and see if I can sort of revive him, get him warm. But he's not looking too good. So I have these Save a Chick little packets here. One's a probiotic and one's an electrolyte. So, I mean, it works pretty much like a human. It's just trying to make a healthier chicken. You just mix them with a gallon of water. You can use them both at the same time so they can get that probiotic and the electrolyte. It's just a healthier chicken. I don't know if it's going to make a difference or not, but I'm trying. About halfway through the 2 weeks, so we got a whole bunch of growth. We've had several die, but the dying has slowed. We've had 1 die in the past 4 or 5 days, so that's not as bad as it was where we were having 1 or 2 die every single day. They've gotten a lot bigger. They're about to outgrow this, so we're going to be splitting them into 2 different things. So we'll be putting half in one of these, and then the other half will go into these. The ducks, that's where the ducks were. The ducks are going to move outside probably tomorrow. And they'll have a lot more area, and they won't have to fight over food right now, because whenever we feed them, they start piling up on top of each other and kind of like fighting over the food. So I don't want them to start like crushing each other. That's what I'm afraid of, is that they're going to like just get so aggressive with the food that they're going to hurt each other or something. Alright, so I got the heat lamp set up. I got a nice, well, I wouldn't say nice, it was built with scrap stuff, but I've got hopefully coon proof and predator proof lid over the top of these guys. So now we just add them to our new home and get them fed and watered. They're pretty much staying over here, but I got all this over here for them too, so we've got quite a bit of room. Everybody's got water, plenty of food in there, and seem like they're pretty happy. So I'm gonna check on them later on tonight when it gets a little cooler and see if they're bunched around that heat lamp. If they're bunched around the heat lamp, I'll probably go ahead and add another one. If they don't look like they're too cold, then I'll just leave it be and let them kind of spread out. Oh buddy, oh buddy, easy. Oh man, how'd you do that? I know birds are typically dumb, but these are dumb. This is like the first time they've seen actual grass. I don't know if they know what to think. I see some of them grazing. Most of them just want the food though. Hopefully they kind of see the grass as food and graze it. You know, some of them are moving around eating grass. That's good. Hopefully they get a little bit of grass in them. So I severely underestimated exactly how much they would need to be moved. I was thinking they would be fine for like 2 or 3 days, but they poop so much and make such a mess that so I'll show you guys So this is just moved yesterday morning, and there's poop everywhere, and they've pretty much kind of picked at all the dandelions and weeds and stuff, and all that's left is some of the grass. So I severely underestimated exactly how much I'd have to move it. So I'm gonna have to move it probably about every day. That's the benefit of having, you know, something that slides. This chicken tractor, I mean, if this was a coop, I would be constantly, either I'd have to do deep layer bedding, clean it out all the time. Whereas here, I pick it up with the tractor, move it 10 feet, and they're good to go. We have, I think, 36 or 37 meat birds now. We've lost a lot. They're doing pretty well now. They actually, I'm gonna have to water them. Need to get them watered. They're going through some water and some food. Anyway, we're quite nearly at week 8. The week 8 end of this Friday. I missed, I think, a few weeks. Honestly, there just wasn't much to report. We've had them in the chicken tractor. They've been going through feed, tremendous amounts of feed. I mean, I'm talking like a bag every couple days. We try not to leave food in there all the time, so we'll have it in there for the most part during the day. We'll have food available, and then when they run out, we'll make them go through the night without it, and that's just to kind of slow their growth just a little bit, so they're a little bit more healthy and they're able to walk. This Friday, we're gonna be checking them, but I think they're gonna be about big enough. We're gonna go ahead and butcher. This chicken tractor's been working extremely well. I think even after we go ahead and butcher these, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put either my ducks or a few laying hens in here, and maybe try to build some like nesting boxes and a roost in there. It just works really well. They've got fresh grass all the time. They got plenty of bugs and these little seed heads. We don't mow over here very much anymore, so we have all these little seed heads, you know, that they can eat on. And these birds, you know, still eat food, but they are eating, and you know, if you watch them in there, they'll actually behave like a normal bird would, and they'll scratch the ground and they'll look for stuff and they'll eat some grass here and there. I know they're not getting as much as like a typical hen would, because they want to eat so much and they're so hungry all the time. They're at least getting a little bit of that grass in there, and they're at least, you know, in a clean environment with fresh air. You go back in there. The other thing is they go through water, and I will say, I think the hardest thing about raising these meat birds is, you know, trying to keep them with plenty of water. They can suck down the water. You know, we got a couple 90-degree days in a row, and they were just panting and panting and panting. And I put this shade cloth on for when the times, you know, of day, like right now, it's super shaded in the yard. You know, the sun's not quite all the way up, but when it was right in the center of the sky, you know, we have shade on both sides, but when it's right in the center of the sky, it was basically beating down right on top of them. So we got this is just actually the trampoline that we made this chicken tractor out of. This is the part that, it has a couple holes in it or whatever, but this is the part, you know, that you jump on, the stretchy fabric or whatever. And we were just using it as like a shade cloth to keep them completely shaded. You know, we kept it up at the bottom, so they still have ventilation and air coming through. And it is, you know, there is some air that can pass through here too, but basically it just keeps them shaded for the most part. And they still, you know, they get hot, they're fat, they're overweight chickens, and so they're just miserable and fat and hot. Whenever, you know, it gets hot, they gotta have a ton of water. So we have 3 watering things in there, and we'll fill those up twice a day, and they'll basically be almost out that second time we're filling them. So when we get to the point where we're gonna butcher them, which I think is gonna be probably this Friday, we're gonna withdraw all food for about 24 hours. So we won't be feeding them that last day. We'll only be giving them nice clean water, keeping them hydrated, and then we'll move into the butchering process, and we're gonna do it all in one swipe. So these roosters, the roosters are a bit bigger. So by Friday, I think they're gonna be just a shy over what I really want as far as size. And I think the hens are gonna be just a little under for what I want as far as size. But instead of doing it on 2 different days, you know, with my time constraints, with a full-time job, a part-time job, and, you know, taking care of other livestock and 6 kids, it's going to be the best method to just set up everything one day, wipe it out, get them in the freezer, and be done with it. We're ready to get rid of them. They're obnoxious. They peck you when they're hungry. They're just not intelligent birds. I mean, I know birds are not actually known for their intelligence, but they're just really, really dumb. I'm just tired of messing with them, so we're gonna be really relieved when that's one more chore off of our plate.